Right now, I'm trying to keep it together because I first fell in love with this human being as a panelist on Chelsea lately. And I'm like, who are you and why can't we be best friends right now? And now
you are best friends.
We are best friends. Now he's a writer and a co-executive producer on a little show you might have heard of called Hacks. I'm so thrilled and honored that actor, comedian, and Emmy Award-winning writer Guy Branum is joining us right now. Hey there, Guy.
Hello, thanks so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for taking time out to join us. I'm just gonna be smiley and goofy. I cannot tell you how much I adore you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind. I really appreciate that.
Well, because you are smart and funny. And hey, by the way, congratulations on Hacks.
Thanks. It's really fun having a new season come out and getting to see all of the dumb stuff that we thought about 8 months ago, turn into reality.
A girl in Ezekiel was fired up. You've gone Hollywood. Like, I was like, yes. I just wish you had like clip-on earrings so you could have ripped off at some point.
It's so fun because I first learned about the show Hacks because they wrote a tiny role for me on the first season, and I went and was on set for like the first week that they were shooting, and I got to talk to Gene and I got to talk to Paul, Jen, and Lucia about just this idea of this female comedian who had never gotten the respect that she deserved, but had just kept working for the last 50 years, and it reminded me of so many of the people that I had worked for, and getting to come in and help write, especially for the last season of really giving Deborah her flowers and trying to respect that journey. It's been really fun.
Yeah, well, as an audience member, it has been loads of fun. And it's so interesting. Like, you really have worked with so many strong women, very strong, very funny. Chelsea Handler, who scares the crap out of me. Joan Rivers, who also scares the crap out of me, but she gave me a plant at the end of a show in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And now Jean Smart, Hannah Einbinder. Like, are you drawn to these women, or are these women drawn to you? That's kind of
I think it just comes down to, like, when I started as a comedian, there wasn't really that much of a place for gay male stand-up comedians in Hollywood. And so the natural was for you to go write for Joan Rivers or go write for Mindy Kaling or whatever. And those people have always been so appreciative and supportive. And, I've really appreciated them. And it's fun. And, like, the thing about Joan is, like, Joan in that plant is like, Joan understood the value and importance of her audience better than anyone else. And it's something that I think is so cool that they have always built in to Deborah Vance's character. This is somebody who understands that she only exists because of these fans.
I love that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's something. You've always been out in your comedy career, like as a stand-up.
Yep.
How would you say things have changed? Because let me tell you, like it's a weird place, the stand-up world.
Like, the amazing thing is, like, audiences are what changed it. There just came a point about 10 years ago when women and gay people in the audience were not going to take it, and, like, for a long time, gay people, like, especially, like, queer men, like, queer ladies had been there in stand-up, but gay men were just like, that's not something we're going to do with our evening. We'd rather be dancing, and we're not going to be called the names that you're going to call us at the average comedy club. And audiences started to shift. You had an amazing scene pop up in Brooklyn with people like, Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang and John Early and Kate Berlant. And it just sort of, created a space for us that, so many of us have been fighting for, but finally came together because the world changed. And like, that was really fun. But, like, the thing about being in a writer's room for Joan Rivers is that was where all the queer and female talent was at a time when there wasn't another place for them to go.
Yeah.
Well, so now that the tide, unfortunately, is changing and there's friction in terms of, like, your sort of observation that that's where it went to naturally and that the audience built that platform. How do the obstacles show up, or does that same audience sort of break through the obstacles, if that makes sense? I'm just wondering how things have changed.
That's a great question because it is a situation where a lot of the institutions no longer feel the same obligation
Yeah.
for a sense of diversity. But the thing is like, first of all, I think like speech is the thing Americans are not going to give up, and like and being able to connect our speech with our other rights is something really important as a community that I've seen us not do and I've seen us do, and I think we really have to remember that participation in politics and using our voices for things other than making jokes and saying hey girl is really important, but like jokes are an important first step. And there's also just the way that like these institutions can't gatekeep the way that they did before. Now you have a generation of people like Caleb Heron who just made the whole game on their own, who with their phone were able to, and like queer comedy has had even more of an explosion since in the last 6 years when it became something that people were just doing directly facing to camera on their own terms and finding audiences. And it is interesting watching these institutions try to pivot back to, ooh, this should all be about straight white guys. And we're like, no, we don't want that.
It's so funny. I'm just realizing now we had Cameron Esposito on the show the last time they were going after Jimmy Kimmel. Like literally, and now it's like, and now we've got Guy going on with Jimmy Kimmel. I love that you're bringing up free speech. The fact that they're going after this guy for a joke that was totally misconstrued and also happened about like a week earlier than what had happened, it's just kind of wonky. Are you still getting out as often as you would like to the comedy clubs to get out and to perform, or is to have that conversation with audiences one-on-one?
Yeah, I try to get up a couple of times a week just because it's good for my mental health. It's good, it's good for me as a comedian. And also, like as I get older, I do need to just, maintain a relationship with the audience so that I know what they think is funny and what I should be talking about. And so I think it is easy for people once you have a nice writing career or a nice acting career or whatever to not do it so much. But I just think it's fun. And, otherwise, why would I be going to Bloomington, Indiana?
Right. There's a good
fully
college
paid
there.
trip to Bloomington, Indiana.
Most people live their whole lives without ever getting to go to Bloomington, Indiana,
That's
Guy,
right.
and there you go. You've got this. One of the things that has been bringing me great joy.
Me too.
Is your series about the things that older gays remember.
Yes.
Again, this is why when I first saw you on the panel with Chelsea, I'm like, I know this. I know you. Like, how could you not? Like, it's so brilliant because it's also like, it feels also kind of like community service, a PSA for the younger gays out there. Like, hey, you think this happened, but hey, check this out. Like, I thank you for Ann Jillian. Your whole episode on Ann Jillian. I was like, yes. Go.
That was so funny. Well, first of all, the whole thing just started with this straight girl that I make videos with. We would go and do Man on the Street videos in West Hollywood, and I needed to stop her once every 15 minutes to explain some aspect of gay culture that she needed to understand to properly understand our situation. And she was like, you have to do a thing called What the Old Gays Remember. And I was like, well, that's insulting. And then it worked. But then, like, my friend Ray was just like, I had to spend like 15 minutes trying to explain Ann Jillian to a bunch of younger gays the other day. Could you just do this? And I didn't think it would connect with people in the way that it did, but it was just, look, she was an icon from when we were impressionable young people who thought nothing was more glamorous than being a waitress.
Yes.
And it was really lovely to see how much, something like that or the Two Fat Ladies meant to audiences.
Yes. So when did you become like a pop culture connoisseur? Is this like, do you know your origin story?
Well, I think we all have, amazing powers that we develop when we're in the closet and cannot, put our full selves out into the world. And I think queer people end up learning a lot of stuff and developing some amazing skills because we don't get to be integrated identities. And then, sometimes you lose that as you chill out and become a regular human being. And sometimes it sticks with you. And I think, and also I just think queer people have always been repositories of culture, like you know, straight people so frequently have children to take care of and stuff like that. And queer people have children now too. But the vast majority of queer people are spending a fair amount of time getting really good at something that isn't raising another human being. And I think that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny though, Guy, is that I'm a straight, and sometimes I watch your videos and I'm like, do we have the same brain? Like, so much of your references are my references as a Black woman who was othered in a community as
Yes.
well. And so there's something really universal about that marginalized identity, right? Because I tell you, like, first of all, you're 10 years younger than me, so the fact that you call yourself an old gay, that's another story. But I'm like, well, we clearly were watching the same stuff, thinking
Yes.
the same things, dreaming about the same things. And so I get such a kick when you're in your videos, because you'll be like, this is something that you don't know. And then I'm going along with you, like down the whole history of it, knowing it too. And it's a blast. I love it. I feel seen.
Yeah, I mean, like camp is the tool of being able to take culture and reappropriate it to your own needs. And when you are somebody who was underserviced, a woman, a person of color, by culture, you always had to be using some tools to figure out
Yes.
where you could see yourself. And
Yes.
it has been really cool. Like the different communities and subcultures I've been able to like get in there and engage with. I mean, nothing was scarier than when I decided to do one on the gayness of Luther Vandross, because I knew that I was touching something
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
close to the heart of many ladies.
Yes.
And it really was, the way it was received was so sweet, and I was so proud of.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
Luther's
That's a whole ball
that's
of
a
wax.
whole ball of wax,
Yeah.
as they say.
Yeah.
There we are, and dancing with his father and all that stuff.
I
you know. But like, it really does to me feel like, because as I'm rapidly aging, I am so succinctly in my Mr. Jones get off of my lawn era right now with the younger gays, like, you don't know what we had to do, and like all that sort of stuff. And there's something so wonderful about, hey, this is what brought us joy, and this is also kind of how we got to where we are now.
Well, it was very funny. About a year ago, I had worked on a short film, like a gay short film, and we were in Palm Springs, and we had gotten done shooting it, and then we were like swimming around in the pool of the house where we had been shooting, and a kid who had worked as crew on the movie swam up and was just like a gay person in their early 20s was like, will you explain the AIDS crisis to me? Because I do not know what happened.
Wow.
And just sort of a thing of like, oh, wow, these things are not, like, it's just not something that's been communicated to them. Like, there was no one there who said, you need to know about this. And it's really lovely that they have been able to grow up in a time when they did not have to be as aware of it in the same way. But also, like, they got to understand, or else everything that we fought for over the last 40 years could go away so easily. And, like, that's the, like, you know, full of yourself portion of it. And then the other portion of it is just, these things are good to know. Like, Audrey Hepburn and Hubert de Givenchy were best friends.
Yes.
Like, that's just fun.
Yes.
The fun of it. My God.
No, but it's so great. What are there any other moments in like the queer icon, the queer canon per se, like that you are like, okay, this is essential to understand it, like Wayland Flowers and Madam. That to me is like, you got to understand, there was this gay man with an old lady puppet who would come out and be fabulous.
Like, Wayland Flowers and Madam is definitely one that has been requested repeatedly. A lot of people are like, how have you not done Charles Nelson Riley and Paul Lynde? But like, I'm like, for Pride, I have my eyes on a couple of things to just be like, you know, these are iconic. Just sort of like, I think I'm going to do like a proper breakdown of Judy dying and Stonewall happening. Because I think that there's a way that like, respectability politics people always want to be like, that's not real, that's not connected. And it was like, when Catherine O'Hara died, I was like, I feel less hope today. It feels very real to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You heard it here first.
I know, right?
We're gonna get the Stonewall Judy story that we've all been wanting.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm just thinking of Ann Jillian says it all. Like, if you understand the importance of Ann Jillian, you are in our world.
Well, because life's
Yes.
not the French Riviera.
Okay.
It's not a charity ball.
She had that hairstyle.
She had that
for
hair.
years.
She had that decolletage, and don't forget the little kitty cat
amazing.
choker.
I have a friend
Those-
who has is working on a solo show called something to the effect of Ann Jillian and the Ann Jillian story, starring in the Ann Jillian TV. Like, it's amazing, and it was like as it should be.
I mean, truly nothing more iconic than playing yourself in your own TV movie in the
come
late 80s or
on.
90s.
Right? I mean, that's
Joan Rivers did it too.
Joan Rivers
Yeah.
did it too. As she
God
should,
bless 'em.
as she should. So, are you're heading out on the road? Are you really heading to Bloomington, Indiana soon?
I was already in Bloomington, Indiana, but here are the things that people should be aware of. Stop That Train, the
Yes.
RuPaul's Drag Race movie, is coming
my
out
God!
on June
girl,
12th.
girl! That trailer is the stupidest thing on the planet with 4 O's, and it is. I am first in line. I cannot
It
wait.
is- It is a really fun script. Adam Shankman, who directed Hairspray,
Oh,
the
yeah.
musical, directed it. Like, so many great talents.
I can't wait.
Rachel Bloom, most of my scenes are with Charo.
Oh my
I got to
gosh.
spend 2 days with Charo.
What?
Oh my God.
There's another
But,
gay icon.
Yes, I mean, and truly, no off position on Charo. She's never not Charo.
Good to know. Good to know.
But the other thing is, I am taking my solo show, Be Fruitful, to Edinburgh. So if anyone is going to be in Edinburgh for the Fringe in August, please come to my show.
Oh my gosh. Edinburgh is my place of enchantment. I've been 3 times. I love
Oh.
it. It is phenomenal. Go and enjoy. You've been
Wonderful. No, I've never been before.
Girl, you are going to have so much fun, Guy Branum. It is like
Okay.
all of the weirdos and artists converge on Edinburgh, and
Yeah.
if it's flat and you can have some raised seating, they turn it into a theater. I saw a show in the electrical room underneath a bridge. Like we were literally, but it was like a puppet, and I was sobbing. You're gonna love it. It is
Wonderful.
It is an incredible time.
What's your solo show about?
It is a PowerPoint presentation about why I shouldn't exist as an obese homosexual, and which spins out into trying to figure out how you tell stories about people that you've never told stories about before.
Amazing.
All right. Well, I love that clip of you with talking about a large gay baby. So, Guy Branum, congratulations on all of the amazing stuff. Make sure you follow him on social media. Where can they find you?
I'm at Guy Branum on all social media except for TikTok, where I'm at Guy Branum Comedy.
There you go. Please follow. You'll get an education and a great little smile that goes on there. Guy Branum, thank you for bringing joy, inspiration, and just a touch of like sissy gayness to all that you do. This sissy gay is really inspired by you. So thank you for taking time out today, and we'll be looking for Waylon Flowers and Madam.
Thank you so much. It was so fun to get to spend the morning with you guys.
Wonderful.
too.
We'll go have a cup of coffee and take it easy. All right.